When these teams met this time last year, Monaghan won in Kerry for the first time in 28 years. For the 2016 meeting, Thomas Kerr and Kieran Hughes are drafted back into the forward line, where Conor McManus continues to be the main attacking threat. So far, he's accounted for 50% of Monaghan's scores. They're up against a Kerry team minus injured captain Brian Sheehan. And in his 83rd ever league match, Aidan O'Mahony leads the kingdom. David Moran returns in midfield alongside Kieran Donaghy, while Darren O'Sullivan hopes to continue his current scoring rate, which is 9 points from 5 games so far. And it is Kerry who are going to play into a light breeze for the first half. Monaghan, having won the toss, opting to play with the elements in their favour. Neil McAdam flung inside here as far as Desi Moan. One player who can inspire the crowd and inspire his team as well, kicking it from distance, putting it beautifully over. His first point in this year's league, struck from about 40 metres out. Great score.
Alíst into Donaghy agus Coimert Yason of plus son.
Then Sky Commerce and Sky Kwan gan Irish be agus Paul Murphy Larnox Rudge and Shin Foster.
Agus búilthe Harris and Drasná Varty Cooper Heidich Mag Donaghy Welsh far Chumán amach de stach. Darren Sullivan is Kerry an Ainach O'Sullivan Gira Lewis outside Immert Yasle Donaghy Welsh and Nash agus fech an Tishkin haig na ladsa lena chéile agus plínte all in father Darren O'Sullivan.
Punches and Sky Bidger Gumper agus Group Barya Kima Glack aga Visha well Visha Arglor leis na lawa ach wahi me gur léim sé isteach sa tackle agus
She a fold agus McManus lena chéad pointe al Tranona as sin fight to get agus Emer on a loss aside. Nish cén plan no chef high Kerry so tuairt féin pointe Machajo David Moran ha Bert Shasta taimhstig ag muoineán ag a spás a rúna. Moran is Crowley os a chóir. Donaghy Crowley inis. Passaggio Murphy Alíst into a shoot.
Anna Ladger father Darren Hughes Foster ach a réistela mata to torch kicking us here Eska de la his Colin Cooper the Gra current at Harn Traston.
Agus an Cartgat Mark Deganá Irene Lillehead Cooper her Harsh and Drasná.
I had a shock fight in Anzi Monaghan action Tus Intach Mark Griffin in New Year.
Cougar Day to fear them guide a Kerry reached a gachéine a fire na Kaide Kerry and sa. Agus mobile team winter Kerry tuairteach fe Kaid Winterrola go mevan no came Rory to fear them guide ka at fe chéine in your vid. Shachwin Carlo Connell tachtamach. Into Gadeska McManus a hasha Gades tour se seo fe fuinte agus e toiste go híman fad ag McManus.
Yep, scoring Gallo McManus agus an rud ceart janta Gar Carl O'Connell isteach sin leis an luisian bhí sé na star luclasí agus é an óg and this
Johan O'Brien so O'Brien took a féin pointe ach begging in the lochlí and
a courage she sin agus current Brian Sheehan Harn Trasne change go garages and Crenshaw.
On the pointe mark and defriecht the in Sheehan or Holland and Nash a Gwynn Doon Cooper in and on the here a Harish stach a lava
scoring a fight okay.
McManus Marsha Honey Show Hogan Raw pointe Aimsha Hannafin Cownell Nimmert Cownell kicks there August pointe Aimsha say put a hole in Harrison Drasná Kerry Eshkin Mac the Rasha Joe Lauren the Park Crowley Mark Shea Tachlin Keen Mark Joe Sullivan Arish Immer Jessica Joe Cooper Honey her harsh Drasná Agus on the score follow Cooper Agus Binny's Farrow Kerry Mark Immer tapping a cut.
Good year okay wadi spar no wogan she do heave got Neil Morning Tarlud Difak a bunch usage a reached as Lewis Darren O'Sullivan Gucher and Gulan Agus and Crenician
Kirshwa Dain Sherach is the outside O'Sullivan Cooper Buckishta Buinche on 5 Buinche
Kenny Janta Kodak Agus Neil Rudderby Neil Monaghan Abel Rudderby Yanni Fishaw
Agus Ian Amgul Goldrick Trash the Neshkinte toward Willie Buggs of Rome Hastration kicks there of Runna and Jerry Kane son Agus Cooper Trash Kerry a Hurchlin Keen Agus Divine it in the forenet Agus Kerry didn't come out Oh Cedar go side Lewis O'Sullivan Pevishtig Immert Yassison Carlo Connell so Connell Matt point to all in their fad fight to O'Connell the Brishet cheating Ramu good dealer fad
Yeah, tá luas sin aige gan airs ar bí. Wahí mé beidir gurú barí a chéanna ghlacha aige in san cáisian nuair a bhrisin tacla beidir gurú rial an bhainteaiste an úsáid sin ag David Colbeck.
Fitzgerald hashtag mas now Doran Curran leis Murphy agus Walsh agus Began cosint jas tebh stig so agus tínte van dain chairman le Fitzgerald stig chomale Danny Vitrich Luista ach Monaghan ish an nunsi a Kerry gear Rista Harsh Malone gas share getog Dinnig gear a spás a chlu da McManus Crane gear Harsh in dress long Padele Vefasule ach a reach Monaghan nor North Kerry on Leroy Harrison dressing no Harrison Pointer fight to David Moore na guide trapping Chica Dassi let she get dog Tamil Fadama August Pointer done sco the Inchan Rod Kane are going to Black Leah Rimish Lahama August how she their co-score reached.
Yeah, she's score. Doc Cranston sin mar bhí sé ar an cosmí ceart a David Moore bhí gach rud janta go maiid ag Darren Hughes sa cáisian ach nuair a cheanta sé ar an cintóg bhí an neart sa
ar chus deis. Nínig Fitzgerald a chéine, nínig inse. Don na chohailt ní roiid a Praboig agus Anna chomórtas idir a hain agus Fintan Kelly. Paul Murphy gira chéad pointe áit a bhartint ag Murphy sinné chéad pointe scráltas a sraham líanaige.
Scoríntach an sin ag Paul Murphy in a ró nua ach mar aicimiid an sin díreach ag teachim thar an trasan ach a rís deile car hosie trochas agad a hen.
O'Brien go Buckley go Dean ar fad Donahoe Welch near Hasha Soul ar Moyle Titje go Jack Crowley Brew ar Began Ian Began go mahan ar ira Crane Sta a Lava Cooper Tarka Gadal Elin Nisfar da hen Pointe August Emertia Securianish Marcus and Lewis Cormac and Royd Lava Vine I guess Bosch de Fluchanish and Mosh a Titim go Traum Mark Share fall the Enright Masha Tastal Casa Nash Minino Sahor fós amach cín Donacha agus third man tackle ó Mark Sheason ach níach a Goldricke Murphy Pointe bhaint fight aige Kittóg chmuc sé Danny Taustig Fitzgerald a fnach sias Danny Macnar Shuhwin Alan Fitzgerald Casan Chenash Chief Pointe scráid se seo gona dún inse go hálinn ar fad san far an gaslán agus Pointe all in co-immert eile únta chó Danny and son.
Yeah, sin cléisteo Donaghy cé go bhfuil sé gimmert learna parka mana bhfuil sé go le steach chiad dúir tá sé abada a bhealacha dhéanú a steach daitheann Paul Murphy go raibh sé stí ar imil le cearnóga tá sé bhád níos airgin.
Cúpla kicks a gine an dún nar fuidir an bua Huasanson agus Fitzgerald agus I builte Craindear Harsh an Drasnána gin Barrowsa agus sin gotí ar cata bhuahan ar ha Bert Straprair the gotan son le Danny agus Marnus Danny cúis le broig agus cé cheapacha
sin scór an le gan ina airs ar bín sin go sé géirí chuidú go bhís go sé géirí an léhaid a horsta gan éigen nú duine bí hart agus le chuisna broige scór den scoihann sin ó Ciarán Donaghy na sin moltúir seo níl cum ar go bhfuil sé sás go leir just an ceicc siar
Bhíonn se caite
Jarhí nachrú malachar roicha géirí me an SB úsí sin acht mar ar an nniuúd mar tá cluthe Harbh táhacht aige faoithe a híonn sa críomh an seo go goú ar ihe chédaine so sin cé go táhaach sa tá cluthe seo go gaithí sé dé a caiithúteach. Tí McManus chuir si sé de sin is beidir tá caiintear beidir cé go cuaig nó 6 gan medar amach agus de táhaach do bhainethe.
agus buin se cho bog sé ráide an chaid agus bhí mé nó bhóg sin Harsin Drasnán Monaghan tachan tosig cuaig nóma déag leach cuaig faointe idir na fórne a cúpa scóirthaid a lorg Darren Hughes immert all nar fád son of Hughes ach a gur se láb ar ní roiid ar an dalh capan an slú a cínta gin don nach bhfuil ní minicí fá Kerry in sin Cooper tachan cín deisbáide Alan Fitzgerald gira é lu amach Cooper din se go das Madan sé casan se sta tarngi sire tá chaid fós a Kerry níl an réitor ag gimmert ar níl an rial van táist immertige Alan Fitzgerald lappa machas ní roid Danny Macklin Keane se chun Barry John Kane a nasfige dúir Fitzmars leis an vinchcata tuairt féin buint nar le hansa go a cha Fitzgerald tréir sí an dor an Nordic Alan Fitzgerald 3 points in this Alan Fitzgerald O'Hara Shista agus Anna has ball this week.
Score Aintach and Shin Kerry. Agus he'll make a bit of Gunjarno Fowler or Guchin Ach we should find out what should a Leher and Mock Agus a Lehers the Creek and Shin Alan Fitzgerald. They chase na Popper Agus the mind bit a couple of Shackle Hen Marialler Druck Rudder Har and I going all Akatashi Gimmer Har Bar and you and I want to hang Kahim Shin Adwell.
Wyn Hagasha Elling Joe O'Morn go frished. Dan Heaney bin yn Ramu as far in this Shahuin. Padas Boyd at Darren Hughes. Would you pull on your Irish? My Harshalina, my Humbrat Glass and Order. Space shooting in this Consmar after Cheshire. My Humbrat Glass Curhan Order. I was hoping that for Darren Hughes and Dex in the move.
Lehers the Glushat and Shin one hand Bogo heave the tape. More Agamas race, Bullen Chahar and Jericho and Traston. Yeah, Shillam Golan Kenny Cart Better Janta. Egan Walter and Shaw and Yakamaj Safekter Shin. Action score Innsbruck at our fad. August Jay Yancy, Tuggan Jay Jesh, and this the one hand ensign.
Be in Boyd, what time she other on Boyd. 3 pointed in the final. Dan Heath, third fan, point to reach. But when it backed in to get shoot, August in the head the score on the tunnel later. Dan Heath is Fitzgerald. Kerry Macamac.
For Graladini Ve Garan for me Crinius Donaghy or on the Carloga because now Roche Sasta a cooling he and I'm sure stuff more shot. The couple Rock one for good shot.
Kyle Murphy Matt stuck with Boyd if I get turning your share on the lava. Sheet to Matt. A goal against kick air to Keente. August Droch Darud.
Neil so good J and Nanyam J or Rory Bag and the Yannon Shaw. Renshire Golga guys, as in Johnson, we should let you go Hannah Wag, Natosi Hen Shaw. We should have the Costa Cor Lesh, August Sheelam Sahin Groshe Tagaham Talu, August Anish and Avir the Shaw and Clare, Mahench and Johnson and Shaw, Maraka Majeris Te, Hetchia Makas Lawa and Costor and Shaw, August well.
Sin an taintear na kick na mach Garrett nor bhúin tú róláidir iad mar sin tóbag beag níta séach machtú.
Dírak agus na cinile mar atáisiid agus an líthreid beidir sláinach go leor agus fliuch go leor ach an seo kick cinach má hen seo isteach ní ag an ballach aráis do bhaine hanna éire.
Denó mit amach ceir faointe idir na fórne. Spéisiúil, mórnis, dúir se féin máide. Didn't she watch this ball and she starts to Liana?
Yeah, kick yard, Snakanil Mar Tashit, Kanye Ishale, Kanye and Talaway, Bulga Trome, Agus Legdon Talaw and Kojala, Yana Runchi and Rudkyard, Chas Roy Bag and Suras get a creak into the Shachs of Funia, Agus Lena Hashman doesn't you.
Agus Morn reach Agus Kerry did a scristle in the park of Shuhuin, Brendan O'Sullivan, Luke Lassie behind his get. Agus donna chowes tuairt féin buinte agus bhfuil bheart into get reach toige agus has bontas do faointí eiscint go inis ó fear chéir fear mór Brendan Sullivan casan teisteach a fear mór Lloyd issue Mark Shea in the air cadain teacht ó Barry John Kane deis báide puinte ó Barry John Kane agus cíimid inis an skill san chaid atá na nóirí chéirí.
A reached a lehéis the fast and show Mark O'Shea. Darksy Suez we can you lash on Saga here and like Rinshed what
Dan he sa chuine. Dinta go dasaga nish. Cashit command the macht the Joe Moide gan an útamáile versúlacha. Delig Barry John Kane stach go das tógach sé seo. A fuinte agus a fuinte fight go dasig Barry agus muinechan nish a macht. Agus Shahun inish Drew Wiley. Agus Ronón the Martian and Machtan so Debuin did in the foreign Kieran Hughes didn't go Mahaga shoot Elu Nish Bishop Giri Shush Chicago Stach a draw Darren Hughes didn't go das like Macanespi 3 feet to get Sasra Gadisa will point to Aimshe get Pa Agus source score agus trú a beidir nar aníoch é siúd atlas nar hosna sé ón tús ach bhí sé rá chlutácht a get.
Yeah, chlutáach ag rith na seachne seo faoi fiche híon ach sin scór anhha ar fáil ó réan Macanespi agus is mór an trú naró sé ábhad an thoisteach beidir le takeíocht níos móthairs de Conor McManus ach sin scóirínta go.
Kerry taachtamach a ríist agus ní chéad uair fé Stuart Fitzmaurice be Kerry amach de dro na cluichí Lech Janis will Elhistach if it's Neil and Drew Wiley good dealer father Pashi the Ristach a hen is Ryan a réisteach an na chéile as nach scuin siad éon bháidisteach.
Ja, agus go ganin siad coolla amach agus ag an am cinna me an espi an eicalach an seo ó hanig sé isteach ach níl go leor takeíochta ag McManus an uair an drochuair agus cé go gurn sé ceann éasca sin th an trasnan tá a ras rite ag ar an drochuair.
Tá agus beag muoineán díach Dinda go ma sa chéad a sé a bhí ann agus a Kerry an áíar tréis bhd éar ó bhadóid sa lesa na bunscil.
We found it hard to break them down, and they were well in the game right up until the end but of the first half. But in fairness, in the second half we played very well, and like I said, we're delighted with the result.
Kerry got away on us at the start of the second half, and before we knew it, they had 5 or 6 points of daylight between us, and it was very hard to peg it back. And look, they were a much better team in the second half. We're just very disappointed, but we haven't much time to feel sorry for ourselves. We just have to try and look at things that went wrong today and get them right for next week.
No, Kerry certainly making the long journey north well worth their while this afternoon. James McCartan, that will be disappointing from a Monaghan point of view. But as I said, you know, Kerry went up there, they got the business done. You can't argue with that, I suppose.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a great spectacle for the crowd there. Kerry are just starting to get up to speed for championship. They wore Monaghan down with 6 points directly after half-time. Monaghan just didn't seem to be able to transition from front to back the way they did against Dublin. They were exceptional that night, even though they didn't get the result. So look, it's looking good for Kerry, but a tough one for Monaghan to take.
You were impressed today with Kerry, the way they played the game around the middle of the field.
Look, they're very strong around the middle of the field. They seem to have a multitude of riches there. They've Anthony Marr and Brian Sheehan to come back into the game. They dominated here from kickouts, both high catching and on the break ball, taking good scores. There's an exceptional score in a second here from Cian Donaghy from along the sideline. So look, Kerry seem to be moving very well. You'll see here now the ball going out to the wing when he gets it, and outside of the boot, an exceptional score. Something that I probably wouldn't associate with Kieran, but we'll give him credit in this one. Inside and sticks it over the bar. Their dominance around the middle of the field forced the Monaghan goalkeeper to start trying to look for alternatives, kicking it short, and this actually led to the goal. So in a roundabout way, Kerry's dominance around the middle of the field led to this goal chance, taken very well by David Moore.
I suppose that's a kind of an interesting scenario, Tomas, in the sense that we see so many varying tactics now in Gaelic games, and the whole nature of the game has changed. And yet sometimes the old premise, win the middle of the field and you win the game, doesn't necessarily go away.
Yeah, I suppose there aren't many teams, Michael, in the country that aren't going short all the time. Kerry are a team that bomb the ball out still, because they do have the likes of Anthony Maher, David
well, of
Moore,
course, you have to
Brian Sheehan, Johnny Buckley around the middle of the field, you know. And it helps that middle eight is very, very strong. I personally would, as a Kerry man, would like to see the Gooch closer to goal. You know, I think if you had, coming into summer, in an ideal situation, if you had that middle eight going very, very well, and you had James O'Donoghue and Colm Cooper inside in the full forward line, it would be brilliant. But look, they're motoring well, you know, there's no doubt about that. They've slow starters for the last couple of years, but this year they've done very, very well, and they'll be happy to hopefully get an extra game if they get into the semi-final.
And I can tell you, most of the country would prefer to see the Gooch not too close to the goal. All right, this year's league campaign has been, I guess, a very disappointing